You too. You too. Good evening. Well, actually, good morning. Been a while since I made a video. I thought it's time I made one. Today's video is not going to be as uh, serious nature as most of the videos I make. I just want to talk about some general items, things that you just kind of go, you know, and even maybe some little personal items. Like, I'm going to share this with you. You know, as light as I am, and those of you that have known me for a while know this, but those of you that don't. As light as I am, I'm not really down with white folks. They irritate me. Because I think that I tried to teach my sons as I was raising them. Never let a white guy walk with you with his arm around your shoulder, because in his other hand he's got a knife, and as soon as you ain't looking, he's gonna plunge that motherfucker right straight up in your belly. That's white people. It's how they do shit. They're dirty. That's not to say that some black folks ain't dirty too, because believe me, I've seen some dirty shit over the last few years. Shit that make you go, damn. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna keep saying it until I'm dead, probably. Nobody has a right to ruin nobody's life. Let me say that again. Nobody has a right to ruin nobody's life. If you're partnered, married, domestic partnering, whatever the fuck you want to call it, with somebody, then why would you do something to wreck their life? 'Cause I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna say this too, because um, my granddaughter Tila and I don't see exactly eye to eye on this issue of when you're hurt, what you do, and how you deal with it. As I've said before, the birth of channel this channel was born because of hurt and pain, and a need to vent. Because when I first was going through this, I just wanted to scream, because I couldn't, I couldn't even wrap my mind around what was happening. Excuse me. um, that whole event just blew me the fuck away. I don't give a fuck what nobody says or how nobody feels about what I'm saying. Um, Everybody heals on their own time. But I got to tell you, there's some things that it's just impossible to heal from. A family member doing dirt to you, maybe some of you that are watching this, maybe that don't bother you too much. Maybe it only bothers you a little bit. Maybe it bothers you a lot. Maybe it bothers you to the point that you can't stand it. But on whatever level it bothers you, you have a right for it to bother you on that level. And whatever you have to do to alleviate the pain and the hurt and the frustration of that happening, however you have to deal with it, you deal with it on your terms, and I'm just put it out there. Fuck what other motherfuckers think about what you should do. You do what you do and what you think you need to do. Like I said, I made this channel because this was a way for me to get some shit off my chest, uh, and raise some awareness of the fact that you got to be mindful of what the fuck you do to people. You don't just go out there willy nilly doing some fucked up ass shit to somebody. Everybody's life matters. Everybody's life matters, not just yours, not just mine. So if you want to, it's one of the things where if you're talking about getting respect, you got to give respect. If you want to have your life matter, other people's lives have to matter too. You can't always have life on your terms. Sometimes you have to have life on life's terms. Sometimes you can't dictate that. sometimes that is dictated for you. The trick to this is to know which one it is and deal with it appropriately and accordingly. I've had people, and I'm sure a lot of people say, "Oh, get over it already." Nigga, come on now. So like that. I understand that. I understand people could feel that way, but I don't feel that way. And what matters here is how I feel on that. It's like I said, I don't really do these videos, but I do them, because I want to help somebody or hope that something I say rings a bell and turns somebody's life around or helps them deal with some strife in their life. But if it doesn't, that's okay too, because primarily this is for me. This is for Marvin. This is Marvin taking care of Marvin. And I pride myself in being honest. I'm not going to ever get up here and tell a lie on nobody or like on any of my exes or any of that. I'm not going to sit there and make them look like shit if in fact they're not. But if they are, the shoe fits. Like I always say, wear it. If you know, and I guess I'm talking to my exes here. If you know that you were a fucked up ass bitch and you did some fucked up ass shit to me, then however you feel about it, if you got any kind of conscience or any kind of, you're a human being of any kind of fucking worth. If you fucked up somebody's life, do something to make it better. Do something besides say you're sorry. Don't misunderstand me. Saying I'm sorry is important. I appreciate it, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. Because and I guess those of you are saying probably sitting there thinking, well, gee, he's wanting a lot for what he went through. No, I'm not. I'm not even asking a lot at all because first of all, I didn't ask to be put in this situation. I did nothing to cause this situation to be what it is and what it was. I was doing the right thing. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was fathering my children. I was taking care of the house. I was doing the things I'm supposed to do as a father, as a mate. I was doing those things. But you can't control other people. Everybody, unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, I gave too much credit to somebody who didn't deserve it, who wasn't worthy of it at all. But when you love somebody, as they say, love is blind. But it has to do with trust. If you trust someone, you want to hope that that trust is being held sacred and thought something about. But that's not always the case. And I hate to say this, but especially with black people, we don't stop and think about who we hurting. A lot of times. I mean, I did, but everybody's like my granddaughter tells me, Grandpa, everybody's not like you. I understand that. They aren't. You damn right they ain't like me. 'Cause I don't have a stomach to do that kind of shit to nobody. There's nothing wrong with um, talking to your mate, telling your mate what's going on with you, and if the mate is any kind of a real mate, they're gonna listen to you. But if they're and I know sometimes because I have issues sometimes with Mary because I'm sure that if I was to say to her something that was contrary to what she wanted to hear, that it would not go over very well. But at the same time, if I felt strongly about what I'm saying to her, I would expect that she would handle it in a dignified way and understand that I don't have no malice. I don't do anything out of anger or with malice in my heart. I'm 66 years old now. I've mellowed out. I'm not as Well, I wasn't really flamboyant even when I was younger, but I try to be even more humble now than I was then because the truth of the matter is I am 66. I'm closer to this side of life than I am to that side. So, that being said, I do want to make sure that, as they put it in church, that my house is in order when it's time for me to go and pay my dues to whoever's running the show. I don't know about that God thing, but I'm not going to get into the religion. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that tonight. I do believe in a higher power, and whoever that higher power is, you know, um, I want them to see that I'm worthy of going to wherever the best place that there is to go to. I'm a nice guy. I'm a good guy. I'm a good father. I'm a fairly decent mate. I may not be the best husband in the world or most attentive or things of that nature. Although I do try when I think of it. But there's so much to think of, nowadays. So sometimes the relationships are important, but you don't sometimes tend the garden like you should. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. I'm not saying this that ordeal I went through with uh, Miss SW did a lot of damage to me, um, mentally and psychologically. And I must be one hell of a tough, strong ass mental person because I can understand now how a lot of people break and do things that they regret, and then it eventually gets them in trouble. So don't think I ain't thought about shooting that bitch because yeah, I have. I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't, but I ain't gonna never do that because the bottom line, at the end of the day, she's still my kid's mom. I don't know way to explain to my kids, hey, I killed your mom. Lord knows she deserves it. In my opinion, she deserves it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't. I don't want to sit here and try to play God over nobody's life. But at the same time, if you such a ratchet ass motherfucker that you don't have even a common decency for a person who's paying your way in life, I mean, I ain't really trying to put her on blast like that. But then on the other hand, I'm gonna keep it 100. She lives off the money that my children uh, are supposed to be having for them. See, when a lot of people don't know about Social Security, and that's another thing I want to talk about too a little bit because this business of um, at the end of the day, when you get to retirement, like I'm at now, I went down to Social Security and wanted and tried to change the payee on my kid's account because it occurred to me that I see. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know where I got this from, but for some reason I thought about double jeopardy or something or other when it comes to the Social Security money, and so I didn't think that it would be right necessarily for me to have power over their money. I don't know why I thought that, but I don't know, somehow it just didn't seem right. So, the natural thing to do is to let the children's mothers be that payee. I only have two mothers that are in that position, and the first one, Lisa. Lisa's my wife. I married her legally. Been married to her. Be 19. It's 19 years this year. Be 20 years in I think December. I think that's when we got married. Anyway, uh, yeah, it'll be about 20 years in December. We're good friends. The marriage kind of didn't work because of some variable things that had happened, but you know, life changing situations change too. So I guess well, I ain't gonna go there, but anyway, uh, Lisa and I are good friends, and I'm proud of the way she brought up our daughter. Our daughter's respectful. She's smart. And she's a very gentle person. She's a very gentle soul. And, I think Lisa's done a wonderful job of raising our daughter. The point is, life does throw a lot of curveballs at us, and even, I speak of myself. I made a horrendous error in judgment. One of the worst things in the world that you can do to yourself is make a real obvious mistake in judgment. And I did that. I chose the wrong woman to have children with. Um, what I envisioned never came to fruition, and I didn't. I won't say I wasted totally 12 years, but in some respects, that is what I've done. I've wasted 12 years of my life on somebody who wasn't who wasn't deserving of what I gave them and the level I put them on, and that's unfortunate because it's caused me a lot of heartache and pain. Looking back on that, had I known this is where it's going to end up, I would have never done that, never. But again, you don't know what's going to happen, and I just made a mistake. I've been married a few times. The other ladies that I hooked up with or lived with or whatever were for the most part ladies in every sense of the word. I can't say that about that last one. I can't, because ladies don't go out and do stupid shit for dumb reasons. And it brings me back to what I was talking about in the first place, where you have to be careful what you do to another person. You have to weigh the value of some things versus the other. And me being the kind of guy that I am, that could have been done another way and not been devastating to anybody. Another thing I want to talk about is white folks. So I get into it today with this guy, neighbor, who lives 2 doors down. And, I'm generally not a confrontational person, but on the other hand, you're not going to push me. Okay. I'd rather be dead than let you push me around. So my son's playing out in the front here, and as you can see, I'm sitting up. I'm actually like out in the garage. This is where my man cave. This is my man cave right here. This is where I sit and watch myself and the rest of the world. I go places on here so that I don't have to go nowhere in real life and take chances on getting locked the fuck up or getting stuck in some country that I don't want to be there that long. Look, I was in Philadelphia about a month ago, and I was at my brother's house. 3 weeks was too long. Could you imagine being in Korea and being stuck in a fucking prison in Korea and not can't just go home when you get ready? You can't just open the door and leave. That would just drive me fucking crazy. That would drive me absolutely nuts because I need to have some kind of better control of my life than that. But uh, shit like that happens. So I prefer to watch it on here because you'd be surprised. If there's a show called Locked Up Abroad where people, and clearly they do stupid shit like want to smuggle drugs and they want to try to get this fast money and or they want to sell their bodies and sex and all that sort of thing. And clearly they know that the operation they're indulging in is illegal. Okay, let me say that again. The operation they're indulging in is illegal. If what you're doing is illegal, what the hell do you think good is going to come out of that at the end of the day? Because if you make a whole lot of money, like 50,000 million, billion, zillion dollars, do you think that white guy is going to let you keep it? You think the white man and the establishment, Donald Trump and the rest of them white boys, you think they're going to let you keep that money? Hell fucking no. Hell no. You're not going to keep that money. Who do you know that has robbed a bank successfully? That never got caught besides that one guy. I remember this one guy about 20 some years ago. I can't think of his name right now, but I think he robbed a bank or a mint or some shit. Got in a plane with a parachute and jumped the fucking. He jumped out of the plane, because he set this up, so he had parachute the whole 9 yards. I think the establishment wants us to think that he died, but I don't think that motherfucker died. I think he landed fine, and I think he knows where his money's at. I think he's already spent. He probably in the Caribbean or some fucking where, or what is that? Puerto Rico somewhere where the United States can't touch him. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of places in South America you can go. And the United States can't do a goddamn thing about you being there. Anyway, outside of that motherfucker, ain't nobody got rich by doing nothing illegal or sneaky or fucked up. That's the morals of the story, is that, if you go out there doing something sneaky and fucked up, I don't give a fuck what it is. If you're talking about stealing from stores, stealing from your friends, cheating on your spouse, all that kind of shit. When you do that kind of stuff, you are immediately canceling out any blessings that you would have had coming. Especially cheating, lying, and stealing. Those three things will get you locked out of whatever heaven or whatever place you're trying to go to after you die. You doing those three things, you can and murder. You can absolutely and rape. You can absolutely forget about any of that because that's not going to happen. I'm convinced that's not going to happen. I'm not convinced there's a God and all that sort of thing, but there is some higher power, and whoever makes the decision as to what they're going to do with your soul when you're dead, you, if you've done any of those things, have automatically canceled yourself out. Nothing good is going to happen for you in life or in death. I think that's how that goes. I really do think that's how it goes. I don't have any proof of that, but that sounds closer to right than anything else I've heard. Anyway, on that note, I've been bench y'all's ears long enough, and I looked at myself long enough, and I feel a little better. I always feel better at the end of my talks, whether it makes sense or don't make sense. I know sometimes I ramble today. I do smoke weed. Good shit too. So smoking weed plus 66 equals I might not always remember shit. At any rate, like and subscribe. That was a good hit. This is OGMarv. Thank you.